My name is Amanda Palmer, and I do a lot of things.
How did you get started in music and when?
Um, I first started playing piano when I was really little because there was a piano in the house, and my mom taught me how to play by ear, by copying her hands. And one thing led to another, and I started writing songs on the piano, and I was always involved in music and theater all my life. So I've just been doing it forever.
Was there one person who inspired or encouraged you, be it like a teacher or like your parents or maybe even another artist?
Um, my next door neighbor has been one of the biggest inspirations in my life. He's always been the one who has been the one that I check in with and has helped guide me through a lot of life's questions and fumblings. But that's always a really hard question to answer because there isn't really an answer. I feel like I'm inspired by everybody and everything around me, even the assholes. They help.
So how has touring and working as a solo artist been different from working with another group member? Has it been easier or more difficult?
It's been working solo has been it's been great. It's been very liberating. There's definitely things about working with Brian and the Dresden Dolls that I miss, but it's sort of apples and oranges. It's hard to compare them. The pros and cons are vast, and I'm very happy to be on my own right now. I'm very happy to be touring solo. Brian and I were really exhausting each other, and I'm happy to not have to focus on that for a while while I do this.
So how do you go about writing your music?
I just do. I just write it. I mean, I don't write down notes. I come up with the songs and I memorize them as I go along. And people often ask musicians and artists. I mean, it's like it's a really typical journalist question to ask about the process. And I think I find more and more that that's a really dangerous question to answer because it leads me to start analyzing my own process. And before I started analyzing it, it was definitely much simpler. So I actually try not to think about it. and I can honestly say I don't really have an answer to the question, and I'm glad not to have an answer to the question.
So you got some pretty interesting fan mail from Ben Folds, and he's actually from North Carolina too.
He is.
Not far from here actually. But and that led to him producing your solo album. Is there anyone else you would like to collaborate with?
Sure, there's tons of people. I've been talking with Sarah from Tegan and Sarah lately about maybe doing some little collaboration with her, and I've always wanted to do something with Robyn Hitchcock, and we've talked about that for years. And I don't know. I don't live by collaboration. I'm a solo songwriter, so it's not something I go chasing. But when interesting people and great talent come into my life, it always seems like a fun idea. But it's really more based on the person. I mean, of course, the person has to be talented, but the question is usually, do I want to hang out with this person and try and do something with them? I wouldn't want to collaborate with anyone if I thought they were a jerk. It just wouldn't, because life's a little too short, and stuff like that just isn't worth it.
What was it like working with Ben Folds?
It was great.
How do you feel about the relationship between the music industry and the internet and illegal downloading?
I think downloading is totally inevitable, and that the music industry is completely fucked up, and ignorant of the fact that the paradigm has got to fundamentally change. And I'm really excited and curious to see how this is all going to shake out. It's been some strange times. I mean, I'm on a major label, and I watch the way they are trying to keep their head above water and trying to deal with the fact that their system is collapsed. It's not even really collapsing anymore. It's pretty much collapsed. And, the realities of that are harsh. The realities of that are that people who have had jobs for years and years and years are losing their jobs. And, while you can have sympathy for that, there's also the other side, which is, the industry has been in a state of denial that you kind of, a lot of them had it coming. And so it's an interesting time to be a musician for sure. I feel really lucky because fundamentally, I feel like a live performer. And the demand for that isn't going away because that's not downloadable. So I feel pretty lucky. If my bread and butter came from, doing dance remixes, I'd feel really fucked. But people, I think, will always want to come see live music, and as long as there are people out there willing to buy the ticket, I'm going to have a job. So that's okay. And people can download my music all they want. If it means that they're getting turned on to it and are becoming fans, it'll eventually pay for itself, I think.